All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my also partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And as always, we're so happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of as we look to close out the week. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes. Let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, especially this morning with some challenges, drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that we are all good and ready to go. All right. I see the ones coming in. I see the good mornings. Mondosan, Cena, right? Blessed morning to you as well. All right. I appreciate that. So I know I am all good. So let's make sure that we're ready, as always, to start with that strong foundation, making sure that we're taking massive action, accepting all possible losses before entering in and trade, preparing you for any outcome. Let's make sure that we always remind ourselves to center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading and that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Let's imagine our trade successfully materializing at all times, and let's be sure to obey our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed and fear. Never want to make sure that we are looking back. And we want to make sure that we're never looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced, right? So always start your day with a strong foundation when we approach these markets. Hope everybody's all ready to go uh, for this morning, right? So want to click over, take a look at some of the fundamentals, right? Have some notes here that I will post in the chat for everybody. So let's see. Second, okay. So we got rate cuts yesterday. The ECB, right, as expected, reduces deposit rate by 25 basis points to 3%, which is the lowest since March 2023. But they dropped the language about keeping rates restrictive, signaling that more cuts could follow. Right. So it's right. We know about, hey, when they project a cut coming, we know about that, but it's always about that forward guidance, right? So they drop the language. We have to know what to look for, right? In those speeches and in a policy statement, right? So they dropped that language. The economic outlook as far as the GDP. So the GDP for the Eurozone is expected to grow 0.7% in 2024, improving to 1.4% by 2026. Right. So think about that when we talk about some of the numbers that we're talking about as far as growth globally, like China, I think 4.6, something like that, 4.8, India, 7%, United States 2.8%. So they see their growth improving to 1.4% by 2026. As far as the inflation forecast, it's predicted to settle around 2% by 2026, though domestic inflation pressures remain high. The challenges include stagflation risk, uh, political instability in France and Germany, and potential U.S. tariff impacts. Um, you see here cautious optimism. The ECB sees the economy recovering over time, but acknowledges short-term weakness in growth. Decision making reflects a mix of data models and risk management, leaning toward cautious rate adjustments. Future rate policy, the ECB aims to lower rates to a neutral level, estimated between 1.75 and 2.5%. Markets expect rates to drop below 2% by next summer, but further cuts will depend on economic data. So we know the language typically, right, is they're going to remain data dependent. Okay. So very, very, uh, very, very important, right, to continue to follow the data. So what this means, right, for borrowers, lower rates may ease borrowing costs, boosting consumer and business spending. Okay, when you get rate cuts. For inflation, maintaining inflation near 2% remains a priority. Wage pressures and weak productivity pose risk. And for policy, the ECB is walking a fine line between stimulating growth and avoiding stagflation, right? So, what is stagflation? Anybody know that in the group? Anybody know what that is? Stagflation. Any takers?
Going slow.
What'd you say?
Going slow.
Yeah, growing. Did you say growing slow?
Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's definitely part of it, right? So anybody else? Yeah, I'm gonna post the I'll post these just in the group in the community for sure. The notes that I took from it. Yep. So like Donette said, right, is stagflation is when you have an economic period, a time where you have, you know, not only slow economic growth, right, what Donette said, but also high inflation and high unemployment. So you're getting hit with a pretty tough cocktail, like right, all at the same time. So high inflation, high unemployment, but slow economic. You're welcome, Yasina. Right. So that's what they're trying to avoid, and it's tough, right? So these central banks have a tough job, right? They're always working behind the scenes, and a lot of us, right, going about our busy days, you know, with our families and working, spending, there's somebody that has to be behind the curtain, making sure that things stay somewhat balanced, right, and that they don't get out of control, which is what we saw with inflation. So that's that in regards to the ECB. Any questions on that? Nope. All right, pretty clear cut. All right, so flipping over to the UK, man, right? Crazy year for FX, man. A lot of back and forth, but we knew that coming into 2024, there were a lot of things that were going to impact, right, the FX markets as a whole. So, data came out. UK economy shrinks again, so we can see that here on trading economics, but I read through some more articles and created some notes. This is the second consecutive contraction uh, for the UK. So UK GDP fell to 0.1% in October, and again, this is it shrinks again. It's unexpected, right? Following a similar decline in September, people were looking for things to pick back up. And after September's data, the economy has shrunk 0.1% overall since labor took office in July, failing to meet expectations of growth. Uh, Economic weakness, services sector flatlined due to weaker consumer spending in pubs, restaurants, and retail. Tightening the pocketbook, right? Manufacturing and construction also saw declines. Challenges for the Labor government. Um, Prime Minister Keir Starmer's promise of G7 leading growth faces setbacks. Rising mortgage costs, energy prices, energy seasonality, right? Nat gas, we're looking at oil, and subdued consumer confidence add pressure, right? So if people don't have confidence, they won't spend, right? So weaker consumer spending in pubs, restaurants, retail. Okay. Businesses may pass higher costs from payroll taxes to consumers, potentially cutting jobs. Market reaction and outlook. The pound fell 0.3% to 126 as investors added bets on Bank of England rate cuts in 2024. Economists warn of a likely contraction in Q4, below the Bank of England 0.3% growth forecast. Uh-oh. All right. So we know if we get technically the term, right? Two consecutive quarters of negative GDP, right? You're looking at a recession, right? So global and domestic risk, uncertainty over a potential U.S. trade war under Trump and the impact of tax hikes could weigh further on growth. Long-term forecasts show slow recovery, with GDP projected to grow around 0.5% per quarter over the next 2 years. So, what this means for the UK economy. For the government, Labour faces growing pressure to deliver on the promises amidst a worsening economic outlook. For consumers, rising costs and weak confidence may lead to tighter household budgets. For businesses, higher taxes and slowing demand could limit investment and hiring, right? So everybody's tightening the pocketbooks, right, as a result. So that's the news this morning for the ECB, the Eurozone, and the UK economy has taken a hit, right? So that's that. If we go to the Forex, take a look at the DXY, we can see the dollar index strengthened above 107 Friday, positioning it for a 1% gain for the week, marking its best weekly performance in a month. These gains come as markets have already priced in a 25 basis point cut from the Federal Reserve next week, though the outlook for 2025 remains uncertain. Data released on Thursday showed the headline producer price index rose more than expected, while the core index slowed in line with forecasts. Additionally, initial jobless claims unexpectedly rose to a near 2-month high at 242,000, well above the anticipated 220K. Markets are currently assigning a 96% probability that the Fed will implement a quarter point rate cut at next week's meeting. The dollar also gained against the euro, the Swissy, right? We're paying attention to that. Following rate cuts from the European Central Bank and Swiss National Bank, right? So those are the fundamentals. Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, bro. Doing well, man. Glad to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. What's on your mind this morning?
Um, I don't have much outside of what you covered today, bro.
All right, all right. Easy enough. Anybody, any questions? No? All righty. All righty. Okay. Well, hey, it's Freedom Friday. You guys have any particular setups that you want to take a look at? Any particular assets? Go ahead, right? Give you a minute. Drop it in the chat. Let me know what you all are thinking, what you're taking a look at. GJ and go with the quickness. All right. So let's start out and go take a look at that. All right. So first we'll take a look at the dollar index, right? Continuing to climb, right? Kind of indecisive this morning, but you can see where they said, right, the best had a strong period, right? So here we are, right? Bullish overall on the DXY. It's easy to see there. So let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at GJ first. Just pound yen, right? Overall, right, it has been bullish, but we're moving a little sideways there, right? So we're moving bullish today, but we've got a little range bound. Still overall long against the yen. Here we are, right? That 4-hour chart that I'm watching. This is where my play is, okay? And we are starting a U-turn and try to get back bullish. We get above that 200, Joy. We may be rocking and rolling for an accelerated push. Yes. Somebody say something. Just hearing stuff.
No, I didn't hear no.
I hear nothing. Maybe that was upstairs. Start get moving. All right. So we are overall bullish. So I'm going to continue to hold that position long. And hey, we got sunny skies up ahead. 4-hour stochastic, right? It's way oversold, right? So in our buy zone, started to try to make that U-turn. So despite um despite the negative GDP data coming out of the UK, right? Still long against the yen. Our positions that we are on the side of yen weakness right now, and so we'll continue to trade long against it. So that's where we are. We had this 1 hour 80-20 that was a possibility. It's turned back up. So I don't know if this is setting up to bounce back and forth. We just gonna continue to push now, but we started to get a correction. But this daily level it held, right. It would not break below that level. there. But you never know. Let's see what happens when U.S. markets open. Let's see if that's going to continue to carry through off this level. But it made a decent push down, right? At some point, we almost got started to close on TB1, but then it did U-turn, and now it's just we'll see if that carries through. It's looking pretty aggressive to the upside, right? The overall long-term swing, right, is bullish off this 4 hour, right? So even off that 61 to 8 zone, right, you can see right now that's up over 500 pips. Pound yen is a big mover, right? So over 500 pips it traveled just to break the cloud, right? So let's take a look at gold. Moving down, right? Starting to move down. And this is your 4 hour here. Okay. Let's run this off the 4, then we'll go back and we'll take a look at the daily again. There we go. So here we go. Okay. So that's some tough looking price action right now, right? On gold. So we'll see what happens with it as we move in. We know the dollar's been running long, right? We read the fundamentals on the dollar. Let's see what happens when the rate cut comes to, right? They feel like that's already fully priced in, but let's see what the forward guidance looks like on gold. But right now, we're declining to the downside. So when you look at it in the short term, right, we clearly formed a high here on the 4 hour, and we've gotten back below that 2669. So we may continue to see, you know, some further declines before it settles down. But you can see here recently, right, it's kind of just been, moving across the middle of our screen, range bound. It's a huge range, but you can see it failed to break. What's that at 2710 level? Actually higher than that exact. That's important. What's that? 2721 level. Um, so, 27, 21. So we pretty much double topped at this. So in the short term, look, we're moving down. Right. So you can see where we failed to really break it. We didn't close above it here. So this is looking bearish right now. So the short term play. Let me drop down to some 2 hour chart. Okay. So it's moving down. Now we don't quite have a 382 there. Right. So there's always a possibility that we start to stall out. But I would just let it run to see if we start to get some sideways momentum. If we get back above, right, that 2669, but right now, short term, that's bearish. Right, pretty much coming off of an equal high there. Okay, so I wouldn't be trying to buy that right now or anything. Right, that is moving. That is moving short. Okay, on gold. So we will see. Right, this is pegged against the dollar. So let's see what happens. We know the dollar's performing well right now. So short term bearish. If I go up to the to daily, try to look at this overall. Okay, kind of just ranging. Really. Okay, so maybe we work our way. Got a support level coming in there. Uh, 2614. But we're definitely moving bearish in the short term, right? Our stochastic is not, you know, completely overbought. Just moving sideways right now. So short term short, maybe you get back to 2614 at 2614 level. But short term plays right now, You can see here where we got bearish move sideways. It tried to push that high again, right? For that double top, and now maybe we get back down to that level. That's all I got on that. I'm not trading that trading it right now. This is the price action on it. We'll see. Walking. No other pairs. Yeah, y'all must be ready for Christmas. I don't know. But let
You
me
can look up NAS. Let me
we'll
put,
take a look at the Nasdaq.
yes.
All right, all right, all right. So
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Let's take a look at it. All right, so this is where I left off. It's still pushing. The stock market is hey, historically, the stock market performs well in December, right? And it's continuing to push higher. Now on a daily, I've had this 21.6 target for a while, so I've got nothing on the Nasdaq right after hitting the daily extension. But you can see, right, how we closed out. Looks like we're starting to push higher. Like at this point, let me go down to the one. I think clear some things out. Uh, that's a good question. Ryan, do you know do they
I
track
was just I was
the
just
VIX on
looking it
that?
up.
Yeah,
Just
that's a
looking
good
it up. I
question.
think it's VXM.
VXM,
VIXM.
VIXM. Because I usually just check it for the volatility.
Yeah, I believe it's VIXM.
Yeah, VIXM. Okay, there you go. All right. So here is the NAS. Let's go down. Uh, down to some of the lower time frames on this one and check it out. It's out. So we'll go. Let's go down to the one. Have anything set? No. So this is about to, man, whew, I was only tracking that daily. Look at that 1 hour, that smaller wave. That is beautiful right there. My goodness. Right? My goodness. So that's so I had that 21.6 level hit, this smaller wave, and we see that 21 854 off that 1 hour chart. Yep, I take a look at you, Jay. Right? So what is this? 21 854. Let's see here. 21 854. 21 854. Right? So we're closing in on that. You got has resistance, future support, textbook market structure there where we held in this zone. So it looks like we could be headed towards that target. You know, that's your 1 hour play there. If we take it down to, man, that's a good price actually. Take it down to say 15. On our fibs. Catch a smaller wave, see what's the type of play. Charts, they're accurate. Super choppy on the lower time. Let's see. If there's something here. So close to that 1 hour extension, super. That's it right there. So I've got nothing, right? It's running, right? It's a nice double bottom there, much in that zone. But we're closing in on that 1 hour extension. So we hit the daily at 21.6 and it's continuing to run. So that's where we are. That's where we are. All right, on that. That's all I have. So continuing to run long. See if we can get that 1 hour target at 21,854. That's the NAS 100, US 30. We'll take a look at that. Then we'll go to that UJ. So, all right. Now we talked about this one yesterday, and we went ahead and drew a trend line to see if this was gonna stall right at this B boundary and create a higher low, right? And we're kind of stalling. So if we catch a break here, Jeremy, and we catch a pullback, we might be ready to get going to that D extension. Where we at here? This is 45,292. So we'll plug that in at 45,292. 45,292. That target there, right? So that's off that 4 hour. So let's see. So we got held up right here. That's what we were looking for, but we don't quite have it yet. Let's see what happens at market open on this US 30 or whatnot. All right. Any questions on that?
No.
All right. Okay. So that's where we are. That would be a nice play and get that to continue further. It was just something really good correction. But a lot of times after you see it start to move in so close, right? Getting close to that D extension, you get a major correction like that. Oftentimes it'll follow and chase it, right? And get back eventually to that D extension. So that one's quite interesting to see what happens. All right. So let's move down. We had a request. We had a request for the UJ. Moving higher. Woo, right? So we were watching this one. We saw it break out. Look at that. Dollar's performing well. You know, the yen is fairly weak. Look at that breakout. Okay. Continuing along. So this is the daily. So 160.31, right? Or just back to 160 even is a target. So if you're into those long swing trades, you know, you take this thinking 160, right? Here's that 4 hour, there's that breakout that we trapped. Okay, so we're right on the money with that one. And then here is your 1 hour. So we're closing in on an extension. So if you're trading your 1 hour chart at 153.96, 154 area is right where you want to be. Okay. If you're trading that 1 hour chart, you're getting in and out. So 154 is where we want to be, right there. That zone. Looks like we're gonna get there. It's a morning star forming on the weekly. Let's take a look at it. Oh, you are spot on, right? Sevens. Right? Some sevens in the chat. Okay. Last time Joy found a weekly pattern, Bitcoin went to 100K on us. So I'm tuning in. Right? Morning star, right? Decision, indecision, decision. Nice work. My bad, guys. I didn't notice my what's the name went on mute. I'm sorry. So my apologies. Yep. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Ryan.
The whole last breakdown, bro.
What'd you say?
The last chart you were on.
Which one? UJ or the
I think you just left the UJ.
yeah, right? So UJ, right, just bullish, right? Moving to 154. Okay. I didn't realize that it jumped to mute. UJ moving to 154. That's weird. So that's the target, 154 level, right? On the dollar yen. And just moving down to the dollar Swiss, right? Moving bullish. Right? Moving long. My apologies, everybody. I don't know why that did that. I didn't hit it. But dollar Swissy moving bullish, right? 89.75 level, 127 extension. All right. So that's got good momentum moving, right? We're above the 200, above the 50 moving average, right? Right. Got a bullish cloud up ahead. So that's where we are, right? We're moving into that target, this 1 hour. So possibly in the future, okay, potential 80-20 in some sort of a correction. Right, but it's got good momentum right now. We know that we had out of Swiss National Bank, they cut by 50 basis points. The expectation was 25. They cut by 50, right? So that was unexpected. So that Swissy is weak right now. So see if we get that 89.75 target. Any questions on the dollar Swiss?
No.
All righty. Any other pairs do we have? Nobody has any other requests? All right. Well, let's move on down. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, see where we are there. Okay. Just moving sideways around that $100,000 level. Oops. Come here and take a look at the daily. Right. You can see we're starting to approach that 80-20 zone, getting a bit range bound. So the bottom line is, right, we want to see if it'll correct one more time. Maybe it won't. If you look at it from the 4 hour, right, we've already gotten a pretty good correction there. So maybe we push right to that extension at 108, 113. Once it gains some more momentum, right? We've got that 4 hours to cast this in the buy zone. So we'll see on that. But that's range bound. Moving on down. If we take a look at I want to look at going back to commodities, right? This oil, right, is continuing to climb higher. So let's continue to keep a lookout for that. That was an 80-20 on the lower time frame. So maybe we start moving towards what's this daily. We've got a level just before that weekly level here at what is that? Around 71.44. That looks like that's where we're headed. Joe, you said you're still weathering the storm. All right. Let's see what happens, right? So we broke that down trend line, but you can see, Joy, we could easily get a reaction around any of these levels. It's ranging, right? If we clear everything out and that long-term fib, you can see how it's tracking. All right, it's just right. So looking like it wants to chase that 71.44 level. We see the last time it rejected big time at that level. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens on that. So that's where we are on oil. What else? Moving into take a look at this Euro USD. Because we got TP1 on this, but I wanted to show everybody this is because this is kind of as that dollar starting to peak out into some pretty good highs, right? Maybe it's a bit range bound right now, right? So just watching that one closely as it held up at this level. I thought it was going to continue to after that strong reaction after TP1. I was looking for it to just continue right down, but it didn't. Kind of held up, right? So that was kind of ranging a bit. I'm interested to see what happens with the price action throughout the rest of the day. Once our U.S. markets get going on this Friday, but I don't know. That's a weird move. I don't see, any major dollar relief. We just got another cut from the ECB. So we'll see what happens if that can eventually break lower past that monthly level. Quite interested in that one, considering that the dollar has been fairly strong. I thought that was going to be a continuation off the 382, but it's holding up right now. Maybe this is just a slight pullback and then eventually break it. That one's kind of hard to gauge. Moving into, I want to take a look at some of these tech stocks, right? continuing to move higher. Nvidia is ranging, but we can see this Salesforce, right, is starting to pick up again, right? So I'm focusing here, but we've got past resistance becoming just think this might be a good low for this Salesforce to start back rocking again to that 398, 400 target there. So if you're trading that, it's looking like, right, we came down, filled that gap. This might be a good zone here to where we've got coming out of yesterday, we've got that swing low. That one might start to pick back up on that Salesforce position. Adobe, right, is moving sideways a bit right now, holding above 540. I'd like to see that continue long, right, on Adobe. Moving into, right, this AMD. I think this might be right. We're right in this area now. I want to see if we get back above 132.33, this level. Get back above that. I think, you know, um, this may start to fly, right? They got some good numbers, solid numbers that got reported. So I'm wondering if this is gonna hold. So watch this. This is the daily chart, this AMD right above that 132 level. If we can get back above that, let me drop down to like the 1 hour chart. Okay, here. All right, so if we can get a good price swing, it's not, so that actually did push lower this way. So I'm gonna go here. So we start to make this move to get back above that level. We break that trend line sideways. That's the low. So yeah, if I took it to the outside of that consolidation, right, start to break. I'd like to possibly make a play on that, right? And this is the lowest low, but I'm gonna move it outside this consolidation. Right? See if we get that. But the key is, can we get back above 132.33? Struggling a bit. So if we can do it, then I may look to take a position. All right, that's AMD. Planeteer is still just kind of hovering around, not doing much. I do want to look at
Hey, bro,
yes,
can you go back to that Adobe?
yes.
That gap down yesterday. I don't think the chart might not be updated or I'm gonna have to zoom out to see it.
No, I was
Mm,
gonna ask that because when he scrolled his chart up, I seen like about
Yeah,
5 candles
slide.
down below.
Did he go back? Yeah, slide down. There you go.
I missed it. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I missed it. My bad. I didn't even see that. My fault. Okay, so we need to find some support then on Adobe. All right, my bad on that, everybody. Wow. Okay, so maybe back down to 453.44.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And it's been all over the place. All right, that's a reaction because they missed
So,
forecast, right?
yeah, their 2025 forecast was below expectation.
Mm,
They meet their earnings was they actually exceeded on the earnings side, but the forward guidance was below expectation.
right. So we came out and completely filled this gap here. So yeah, maybe we found support at 453.44. I'm glad you guys caught that. I was about to blow that. All right. So that's where we are. And so maybe we'll watch that 453.44 level, see if we can find some moving down. All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I wanted to, because I'm long Microsoft. I want to take a look. So me, I will. Just want to, I'll pull this up. This is where an extension. I'll pull this, and I want to take a look at this Google. Right, this is moving pretty good. So I want to mark this one up. So we know where we are. This just took out a high, so that we won't have resistance monthly, but we will as we move through the charts. So this formed a really good monthly low, right? Past resistance becoming future support. Okay. And okay, this is a monthly extension at 213. Two 13.53. Second. Okay, 13.53. All right, so that's going to be a monthly extension that we're headed towards there. And just this, so I'm good. So, and through weekly levels in. Daily. So, and out. See where we are in regards to our daily fib level. Way up. Current fib. Spot. Yeah. So right around 213.53. This one here, 207.98. So 207.98. So that'll give us 208. All right. So shoot. In this zone, right? We got above 191. That's a monthly level. And that's where we are on Google from the daily, right? So if take this here, maybe drop down to 1. If there's anything we can grab a hold of that can help us, give us an opportunity to get to that level. So maybe see. Now, if it's a 1 hour chart, I'm gonna watch this monthly level for the break and the retest. Right. So there could be an opportunity because this is a monthly level. That's a strong level. If it holds, even though we're not all the way in our buy zone, right? I couldn't blame anybody, right? If he says, you know what, I'm gonna take a shot if we hold there. If we form a low there and we break, right? Then maybe I take that, right? And of course we got that 127 zone, right? If we we move right, below this level, then possibly we get it into our buy zone, right? Then we get back above it. So that's Google. I've been meaning to mark that one back up for a while. Yeah, it's moving pretty good. So that's the 1 hour chart. Any questions on Google? See if we get to those higher targets by the end of the year.
No.
All righty. Anything else we want to take a look at this morning before we log off?
Yeah, sorry. I've looked into the quantum computer sector, and I was just wondering if you could look at another one called IonQ.
All right, let me take this IMPG out. All right. What's it called?
IonQ. So that's IONQ. I'll put it in the chat.
M as in Mary.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So talk to me about it. What do we know about it?
Yeah. So what I know so far is that of course quite a lot of tech stocks now are beginning to look at quantum computing.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically looking like that's the future of computing in terms of space, speed, and a lot of things like that. And of course, Amazon, Google, and a few other companies have actually started to look into this sector. So, of course, IonQ, you have another one that was created by Elon Musk, and he's talking about D-Wave. I've already told you about Palantir. These are like the quantum computing that's going to help speed up the processing of the internet and, of course, technology as we know it. So these software stocks are quite like are kind of the biggest things after you've got your tech stocks, now you've got your software stocks. So these are the next ones looking to. So, yeah.
All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Microsoft is also working in that space too.
Yes.
Hey, nothing but opportunity. Look at this. Look at this stock. Man, like this reminds me, Ryan, when Tyrone followed up on a week recently with that Palantir. You remember when what was
Yeah,
that?
man.
I can't remember what was that when Ann told us that. I want to say $19 sticks in my head, but I was lower than that at
It was
that point
lower than
because
that. I think it was around 10 or 12, I think.
because it was just
Sitting in 80-20 zone.
consolidating, right?
Yeah.
It was just consolidating when she brought it up, and then when Tyrone brought it up again, I'm like, when he posted that, I'm like, man, this thing is gonna go. It's gonna go. Like it's catching everybody's eye. But I
And they're
remember it was
saying
like
that's
it was
still
yeah,
undervalued.
yeah it is. Yeah, it is. And I mean it was like when Ann at first called that Palantir out, it was like here, right? Where it was consolidating. And then it broke out. But look at this here recently, man. So I could see it let's get down to the daily. So, so, so here's this daily chart. All right, so now we're coming to some yeah, daily. So we'll mark this high off this pullback. Right. And so these type of opportunities, right? Not just for trading, like just for your doing your research and for your own portfolio. And you know what? These are good prices to say, you know what, I'm gonna, just hold it. Give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry about that, everybody. Um, so let's get these levels in. It is Friday the 13th. So we're pulling back to this level here, right? This would be if we can get down around this zone here. What is this? This 2239 level, somewhere around here, right? That would be beautiful. But let me put the fib on. Oh, let's take it out. So maybe we hold here, establish a new level. Well, I guess I didn't scroll back far enough. Everybody said we got this is a level here. All right. So maybe this is it. Daily stochastic, right? Approaching our buy zone. So let's see. Hey, got scrolling issues this morning. I missed a gap down. I didn't scroll back and see this peak here. Uh, yeah, right down in this level here in this zone. So this is where did we? That's, if we that's my area. there. So that's the daily. So that's looking pretty good. I like that level. Come down to the 4. All right, so similar. All right, so track it from the 4. Look at that. Okay. So that may hold. Okay. So this is where we are. So let's see if we get bullish from this level. Okay. We got a daily stochastic approaching, the buy zone. We got a 4-hour that's oversold, right? We're in our buy zone. This one may be a good one. All right. Drop some sevens in the chat. I appreciate you, sir. Did the research on that. All right. And then we had a look IONQ. And Jeremy asked for the Swiss yen. So we got TP1 on that, Jeremy. We're rounding out here, right? As it's just become future support. I know we've got a 50 basis point cut that came as a surprise out of the SMB, but I'm not liking the yen at all right now. That's just me. So this could continue to climb, right? Continue to climb. We've got a low here on the 4. That could continue to make one push, right? One more big push up at least. What is this? This is a daily level that I have it. This price there, right? So we're back above 172.12. Maybe we make another run. We run this before, right? We're right at the edge of our buy zone. That could continue to get long. Here's that 1-hour chart there. Right, where's that target? 173.23. So we may keep right on running. So we'll see. Yeah, do you have the same thing? Thinking the same?
But they should sell them like that.
So let's see. It might. Uh, there we go. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was looking at the daily,
Okay.
and yeah, and it looks like it's below the cloud.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and it
Over
has,
over overbought too. All right.
yeah,
So what do you think? You thinking a pullback and a move down, or you thinking what are your thoughts? It's kind of
yeah. I'm look
a
I'm looking at going on a short side.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Kind of just ranging now, right? Right in this area. Staying below the 200. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this one. Now, I'm leaning more towards the Swiss versus the yen, but it can make it tough because neither one of them at their strongest right? So that can make it a tough trade, right? Make it a tough trade. As you can see here, right? These last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, that's kind of range bound. It's trying to figure it out. You see how flat your 200 moving average is, how flat your 50 moving average is, right?
yeah,
So it's not doing too much, especially after hitting, you know, uh that TP1 is kind of just when you look at it from the higher time frame, it's just bouncing back and forth at the same price range. So at some point it's going to break out, right? So it may break out to the downside, like you're saying, because it's holding below your two major moving averages below the cloud. So we'll see what happens with that. That's the tricky. That's the tricky. I'm thinking maybe one more swing up. Maybe it doesn't push the TP2. Maybe we just come back to the highs at TP1. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see on that one. That's all I have on that one. I skipped over this nat gas play, right? So our nat gas is still moving in our direction. So those holding those long positions on natural gas, they're still above cloud. Doesn't look bad. We got above that $3.38 level. And so if we hold there, and we just continue to move higher, right, on natural gas. So that's it. Anything else?
Just your right arm. Just give me your right arm and we can call it a day.
Funny. Oh, hey, that's it. We are, man, pretty much at the halfway point. We got a Fed rate cut coming. I'm interested to hear the forward guidance as everybody is hesitant regarding the new administration coming in and tariffs and everything else. But for the most part, the stock market is continuing to perform well. Depending on the sector, some of your companies, it has some mixed earnings and things like that. But we'll see if the December trend in the stock market can continue on into January. So we are rocking and rolling. With that being said, everybody, hey, don't just count your pits, but indeed always count your blessings. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Appreciate you all being here, hanging in with us. I know we're a little over time. And hey, look forward to seeing everybody for the weekly ritual. We found some pretty good setups last week that played out, right? A lot of 80-20. So that is it. Ryan, anything before we close out? No, I think we're good. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
Thank you.